Welcome back to another episode of the Miami Heat Roundtable. My name is Amir. I'm joined today by Martel. You can find Martel at the Miami Heat Zone podcast. And I'm also joined by Johnny. You can find him at Goat James Kingdom. How are you doing today?
Doing well, doing well. Peace and blessings. Thank you for having me on. Looking forward to talk about the Heat. Let's go Heat.
Yes, sir. Again, thank you so much. We always appreciate having guests on the show. So, for today's episode, we want to talk about, I think, the biggest catalyst and the biggest thing I think that's going to happen this offseason is the Jimmy Butler extension. And so we all know that the extension is eligible on July 7th. They could start negotiating, I believe, once the playoffs are over. They can't sign an extension until July 7th. We know that Jimmy Butler and his agent, Bernie Lee, mentioned that they are looking for the max extension, but specifically, Jimmy mentioned that he wants to sign it with the Miami Heat, which is a good sign, of course. But
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of other teams have come out basically because Pat Riley in his press conference at the end of the season was basically saying, hey, we haven't had a conversation yet. We haven't negotiated, and we might not even offer that extension this offseason. We can take a wait and see approach because of Jimmy's availability. He's been load managing, and apparently they talked about this before this past season, saying that, hey, Jimmy needs to be more available. He's never played more than 64 games in a Miami Heat uniform. We haven't really heard a rebuttal yet from Jimmy Butler. He doesn't seem to be upset yet. He's living his best life. But there is speculation that if the Heat don't offer this extension, Jimmy could potentially get disgruntled, ask for a trade, or, just play next season and then not pick up his option and leave in free agency. So, what are your thoughts on this whole Jimmy Butler extension situation? Do you think it makes sense that the Miami Heat said they were going to wait till next season so that he could prove that he's not going to be hurt, could get back to that all-star level, win us some regular season games? What are your thoughts just in general on the whole scenario?
Well, I think they bringing, the cat out the bag a little bit too much this offseason. Miami are very, in tight, very closeted type of a franchise. We don't usually speak too much to the media or give them any type of information. The fact that Udonis is on national television saying stuff about Hero and talking about Jimmy Butler is not good leverage for the team. Pat Riley himself going out during the press conference and getting a little bit bold and saying some things about Jimmy and other players. That's not usually the Heat way. That's not how we usually do it. We keep things in home. If we definitely have something to say to one another, we say it to each other's faces, but we're not really going out to the media to talk about it. So that's not really a good sign, right? That's obviously Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley talking to one another. So how much in private is Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley in communication with one another? If they're not in communication that much, then it goes to bold to say that Jimmy's going to win his contract this offseason, and he's not going to wait till next offseason. And if we all know what Jimmy's going to do when Jimmy wants his money, he's gonna demand it. He's not gonna play around with it. That's just Jimmy Butler. We all seen it before. The history's there. So this is definitely gonna be the elephant in the room that we have to attack before we can do anything this offseason.
But do you think he personally deserves it? Because we do see when he's actually trying to play basketball. And don't get me wrong, I think that Jimmy Butler has done great with this team. Like, if anything, he's overachieved and he's been able to do more with less, especially with all the undrafted guys. Getting Kyle Lowry, that didn't work out. So when you look at Jimmy Butler overall, I'm not saying he has to play 82 games. But why can't he give us about 65 games where he actually tries? Because think about it. He missed the third NBA regular season game due to rest, and he didn't even play during the preseason. So there's a lot of trolling. Like, I see him in the commercials and he's doing everything else, sniffing coffee, running around, playing dominoes and all this stuff. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But no other regular season team, the Mavericks, the Bucks, the Clippers, the Lakers, they cannot afford to have their best player miss 20 games out of the regular season, and then out of the 60 games he plays, another 20 he's trolling, only 8 shots, he's passive. So do you think that Jimmy Butler deserves a contract? Do you believe in paying players for what they did in the past? I'm not saying he shouldn't get his money, but we also have to be realistic when it comes to his age. He's pushing 35 plus,
Mm-hmm.
and he's almost riddled with injuries every year.
Well, whether he's deserving of it, that's would be my opinion. Yes, I'm a pro player guy. Players earn their money. These guys work hard. It's not easy playing in today's NBA. Yeah, he hasn't been the guy that you would want to play 70, 80 games a season. Most guys really can't do that. It's very difficult to do that in today's NBA. They have to cover so much space. There's so many dynamics in today's league that we just can't say guys are just, are not playing because they're really not injured. Some guys are really injured. Jimmy has earned the right to get a max contract. So he's going to get a max contract. As Amir stated, there's teams out there willing to give him a max contract. Philadelphia even said they would do it. So the question is, do we want him for the next 3 years? Because he just wants to be here for another 3 years. Is he the best player right now on the Heat? He's probably not the best player on the Heat. We could probably give Bam that nod, right? So, but what he has done for the last 5 years is worthy of a max contract for him to actually be on the Heat. I would want him to stay, but I believe Pat Riley is going to dangle Jimmy Butler in trades. Because if you give him that 3-year extension, the value of trading him goes out the door.
I agree.
Go
ahead, Amir.
I was gonna say, are you like? I understand I'm torn on the scenario because, like, of course, past performance, what you've done for the team, how you've elevated the team, and also like the proof is in the pudding. Like against Boston, you saw how we looked without Jimmy Butler on that floor. Even if we didn't have Terry Rozier and a compromised Duncan Robinson who played 5 minutes one game, 10 minutes another game. If we had Jimmy Butler on that floor, I think we would have been a lot more competitive against the Celtics. So he's still capable now. I'm not worried about this upcoming season and maybe not even the following, the 2025 season. I'm worried about the 2026 season and him making close to $60 million, kind of like the Kyle Lowry situation where he was making 30. I know they're not the same player, but once you're 35 and older, like 90% of all NBA players, like in one season can completely fall off a cliff. We saw that with Kyle Lowry, like his first year with the Heat, he was good. And then kind of second year wasn't really contributing as much. And then the third year completely fell off the cliff, wasn't shooting the ball and just really wasn't playable to a certain degree. So I'm just concerned about that third year, age 37. I don't know how well his game is going to age because like right now his rim pressure, like he's not finishing in the paint as effectively as he was in the past. Like his field goal percentage is going down, his shot attempts are going down. Like his body seems to be breaking down to a certain degree. Like everybody always mentions, it's that the Thibs, era in Chicago. But does that not concern you at all? Like the future of the Miami Heat, like just like how that can completely hinder us from signing other free agents or making other trades in the future. Like I'm worried about that third year.
But that's my issue with the thing is with the Heat is letting go of one bird for a bird you don't have, right? Like they say, you don't let go of something if you don't have the other thing. We did it with Kevin Durant in 2016, right? We shortchanged Dwayne Wade because we were trying to save money to get Kevin Durant in 2016. Then it was Bradley Beal we were trying to get, right? Then we were trying to get Spider. We were trying to get, Donovan Mitchell. Then it was, we're going to get Damian Lillard, right? The Heat are always trying to get these stars to come to the Heat, which I'm fine with because that's the Pat Riley way. But who are we going to get to replace Jimmy if we're going to do that, right? Let's just say, right, because he's going to want the money. He's not going to play this season without the extension, right? But in my mind, the great idea for me as a Heat fan would be to him to get the Udonis Haslam, where in that last year of his contract, like you said, where it's 60 mil, you restructure him for another 4 year at the minimum vet, and you just let him make the minimum vet and let him be that bench guy, that guy that can motivate the team to build the culture. Because that's what the Heat is always about. It's about bringing in guys that are going to hustle, do what it takes to show their way. And if you got that veteran presence, that dog presence that Jimmy Butler brings, being he's going to be a Heat lifer, basically, right? That's going to put him up there with the echelons of all these other Heat players that we love. That would be the ideal scenario, right? But are the Heat talking to him like that? Do the Heat see him like a Udonis Haslam, like a Keith Askins, right? Like the guys that we allowed to just sit around and shortchange because we knew in the long run they were going to be a part of the organization.
Okay, so then, like you mentioned, like all the stars, Damian Lillard or whatnot, and you know how everybody wants Donovan Mitchell, but obviously we can't wait all off season for Donovan Mitchell. And then yesterday, like it was reported that the Miami Heat, the Lakers, and one more team are linked to Laurie Marketing. So if we can't get Donovan Mitchell, like what's like your plan B? How do we improve this roster? Because I know that we're gonna re-sign Jimmy Butler. So how do we improve this roster what do we do with Tyler Hero? Like, are you willing to give up all the kids, Jaime, Jovic, Tyler, and all of our picks to go all in? What is your plan?
Did you just say Jovic? No, we keeping Jovic. We got to keep Jovic. Can't let him go.
Well, whether it's for Donovan or for whoever, let's say that we have to go all in, or maybe we can keep one of them. But what's your trade
The
package to get
plan is
that star?
a lead guard. We need a point guard. We need somebody who's elite. Isn't Trae Young available? Isn't
Yes.
like DeJounte Murray going to be available?
Yes.
Right? In the case of Philadelphia, if they're willing to give Jimmy Butler the max, can we get Tyrese Maxey?
Nah, he's off the table, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? If you the Godfather, if you Pat Riley, and you know what I'm saying, and Philadelphia got to make some moves, right? Or they're gonna keep Embiid, right? Because to me, like I tell people, man, Bam is the future. Bam is the future. I don't see Tyler Hero being able to get us anything. He hasn't gotten us anything, and he won't get us nothing now. His value has completely plummeted from whatever we could have got for him. Keeping him is better than anything. If Duncan Robinson can stay healthy, we actually have a good roster. We just were not healthy this season. We didn't have Spo trusting these younger guys as much as he should have, right? Because he's bringing guys in and out of the starting lineup. But with Bam as the lead guy, I don't think we have any problems. We really just need an elite point guard. Think about this. Terry Rozier can average 20. Hero can average 20. Bam can average 20. Jimmy can average 20. You're talking about 4 20-point per game scorers on the Heat roster right now. So we need a point guard. We need somebody who can get us in our offenses, in and out of our offenses, because that's what killed us all year. We're elite defensively, but we're horrible on offense. And that's because we don't have a real playmaker besides Bam Adebayo.
So then who are you willing to get, and who are you willing to trade to get a guard like that? Because my option is definitely DeJounte Murray.
And we can get Trae Young in Miami, right? Because
Oh, yeah.
he's perfect because they hate Miami. Anybody who's hated could come down here and we can put them in a nice little nest and cocoon and nobody touches us. Miami media is different. Miami lifestyle is different. You come down here, you're good. And we get a Trae Young, they can hate on him all he wants. That's another 25 and 10 guy. And we can get someone like that. If you're talking about a star, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? But we would have to give up Jimmy for him. Are you guys really want to give up Jimmy for anything at all?
Nah, I don't think. But I don't think we're gonna have to give up Jimmy. I just think maybe Tyler Hero and maybe a first round pick, because even Trae Young's value has plummeted. The Spurs even said that they didn't even want Trae Young. So I don't think that Jimmy and Bam are untouchable. I think that we can get DeJounte Murray or Trae Young for about 2 first round picks. But I would rather go with DeJounte Murray. He's bigger, he's younger, he's more athletic, and he fits both windows with Bam and Jimmy.
I'd rather go for Trae though. I don't know. I don't think DeJounte and Terry Rozier or DeJounte and Tyler Hero would make much sense as a backcourt duo. I don't know. Even adding Trae with any of our existing guards, I mean, we would have to put Duncan in as the starter next to Trae. And we made a video, I think yesterday, Martel, talking about that, how I thought that should be the Miami Heat's plan B if they can't get Donovan Mitchell, is getting Trae Young, because you get that 25-point score, you get one of the best playmakers and lob passers in the NBA. He can activate Bam Adebayo that way with the pick and roll. But yeah, I just don't know like what that fit would be. I think if it's Trae Young, it has to be Duncan Robinson, and like the gravity of those two, the way they could spread the floor, like that would open up so much space for Jimmy and for Bam to operate in. But I don't know. Like I like DeJounte too, because again, defensively he's a little bit bigger, but again, he's not a true point guard. Trae is like not even a true point guard. He's more like that Steph type of point guard who's elite at scoring, but also they're still elite playmakers, have high IQs. Even though I hate Trae Young, I think I'd rather have Trae over DeJounte. I think it's kind of redundant having a Terry and DeJounte backcourt because none of them are real floor generals. I think Trae can be, and also he could be that elite scoring threat. So I think that's a good piece. But outside of point guard, we need size though too. So like, let's say we can't even get a superstar, but like of the type of guys we've been linked to or rumored to in the past, like Kyle Kuzma, I guess Martel just said Lauri Markkanen could be available. That's going to cost way more than a Kyle Kuzma, but who out there could help us like in the 4 spot or the backup big spot? Because we need size. That's like another issue too. Outside of the point guard spot, like we can get by with Terry and Tyler and whoever, but like I think we need like rotational and functional, not rotational, functional size, whether it's at the 4 spot or the backup center spot. So do any players come to mind that you think that can help us that are
Well,
either free agents or through trade?
The rumors is right. What Andre Drummond for big man? That was a rumor I heard for the Heat as well. I didn't hear about the marketing until you guys brought up the marketing thing. I think marketing would require getting rid of someone like a Jovic, one of our young talented guys, which I don't want to get rid of none of those guys. I mean, I think I like Orlando Robinson. I think he kind of fits that need that we need, because again, I think Bam is one of the best big men in the game. I don't, a lot of people make fun of me for it. I say it all the time. There's only a few big men that I can put ahead of him. That's Joker, Embiid, and maybe Wemby. After that, I tell people he's better than Anthony Davis. He's better than all the other guys. His impact on the floor, on both sides of the floor, are completely underrated and not appreciated by outside of Miami. Because I think that's what because you think about it. If we had Trae Young and Bam, do you imagine the type of lobs and the pick and roll situations that would happen with those two? You know how unstoppable they would be in today's NBA? And that's why I said we really need a point guard more than anything, because I think we have everything else. I don't really think we need a big man. If we get another big man, what big men are available? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing too. Like, they're all old. It's Drummond, it's McGee, there's nobody really out there as far as big men that you can say. They're all going to be young guys, very slim. Nobody that has the force that we look for. I'm good with the big men that we have. We got Bryant and Robinson next year, if I'm correct, to back up Bam.
Yeah, Bryant. Well, so Robinson, I don't think has a guaranteed contract. So he got upgraded from a 2-way to a standard contract last year. So last year was guaranteed. So we still have the option.
You have a team option on him, yes.
And same with Thomas Bryant. He has a player option. So he has not mentioned if he's going to opt in or test free agency, which he probably can. He's 26. He had a ton of DMPs and was out of the rotation. Played again at the end of the year and played pretty well when Kevin Love missed those like 14 or 15 games at the end of the season. So we don't know. Like, we could be losing Thomas Bryant. We might demote Orlando Robinson and put him back in the D League or G League, whatever. So yeah, Andre Drummond could be a good option. He's 30 years old. He would be a vet min. Like, he would be $3 million. So like, that's cool. We don't have to lose anybody.
Drummond's only 30 years old?
Yeah, he's 30 years old. He's 6'11", 280. I looked it up. He's 280.
No, he is a beast on the boards. He would be fantastic to come off the bench. He's played great in Chicago. He's been a good player over there.
That's true. He averaged 8 points, 9 rebounds in 13 minutes off the bench he almost averaged a double-double in 13 minutes. Like,
yeah.
Spo can carve out 15, 16 minutes off the bench. He could back up Bam. Yes. But then yeah, I get him at the power forward spot. I think if we can get Drummond, that could solve our rebounding issue. We were ranked 26th in the NBA in rebounding last season, which is bad.
Yes.
Drummond could be a good fit, and then we just have to have faith in Nico, because Nico probably will remain our starting 4, and if Kevin Love picks up his option, he'll be the backup 4, and then we could have Drummond backing up Bam. Then we need to address that point guard piece, I guess, because I don't know. Do you have like no faith in Terry Rozier as our floor general? I know he's not like a actual point guard. Same with Tyler Hero. They're both combo guards, but
I have faith in him. But I want a backup plan. It doesn't hurt. I think, again, I think he can average 20 points per game, 18 to 19, 20 points per game. That's good. How much of a playmaker is he is the question again, because that was a major issue this year. We just couldn't get into our sets when it was necessary. We couldn't get the best shots available for all our guys. And again, we have some guys who can score and shoot, man. So we just need somebody that's what kind of hurt us by losing Kyle Lowry. Because if Kyle Lowry was actually healthy, we probably would have kept him, and we would have been better with him than Terry Rozier. I believe he would have helped us out more than Terry can. But I have faith in Terry. I don't think Terry's a problem. I think he just got to get used to the system, the offseason with the coaching staff and everybody else. And coming into this year, I have high expectations for him and Nico. Those two guys, I see them stepping up big time. But I still think we need a backup plan. We still need somebody that can come in and really be that playmaker, somebody who can really pass the ball and really facilitate. That's what we really need.
It's good.
Yeah.
What do you think about last question I have,
Mhm.
Martel, you can answer this too as well. But the draft. So, do we pick a point guard? Because we've been speculated to be tied to what's it, Devin Carter, Anthony Carter's son,
Mhm.
and I think it was an Isaiah Collier from USC. So we're speculated that we could go for a point guard at 15. We're also speculated that we can get a big because that's obviously again we need some size. Kalel Ware is one option, and a few others.
Zach Edey.
Zach Edey, that's the other one. Yeah. So like he's been linked to our team, multiple times now. So what
What
direction do you think we go for the 15th pick? Do you have anybody in mind?
what do we have? The 17th pick again? What pick we have this?
15th. 15th in the first
The
round.
15th pick this year. I don't know, man, because Spoelstra and them don't like playing rookies unless it's emergency, right? Unless players are hurt. That's how you see a rookie come in there. I don't know. I mean, the NBA draft is so hard to call because players are coming in from more than just one pool. You're not just going after college players. There's international players. There's players that play in semi-pro, other leagues. You know what I mean? So it's like it's hard to say, okay, anybody outside of the top 5, what they can actually do in today's NBA. But I do think they will go with a point guard, because that's just something we need. And there's a couple of guys that they can get in this draft, like you mentioned, that are really good. Did you mention that guy, Edney, right? That's the guy from Purdue, the big guy?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Zach Edey.
Yeah, he could fall to 15th.
Do you think he could go anywhere from like 13 to like 20-ish range? Yeah. So
I can see Pat Riley taking him. If he falls to Pat Riley, I mean, because Pat Riley likes the veteran guy, right? That'd be just like Jaquez Jr., right? He played 4 years.
yep.
And Pat Riley likes that. That's why he doesn't like rookies, because he doesn't think they're intelligent enough to get on the court and react well enough. But if you got a guy like that, yeah, of course, he's going to be playing behind Bam. That would be good for him. Like I said, anybody like that, you bring them down here, they're going to be nestled into the Heat culture, and is either development or you're not going to be cut in the league. If you can't do it, and I think he'd be a good pick. So, yeah, if they can get him at 15, that would be great. And then go and wait to the second round, maybe get Bronny James. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't
Yeah.
hurt.
We have the 52nd pick, I think, in the second round. But I think the Lakers just got the 17th pick from the Pelicans. So there's speculation out there that the Lakers might use the 17th pick, or I think it's 16 or 17 on Bronny, perhaps. Which I think, no offense to Bronny, I don't think he's a first round type of player at this stage in his career. But
Yeah, he's not a first rounder at all. No, he's not going to be a first rounder. That would be preposterous. If the Lakers do that, that would be signs to leave. If you're a Laker fan, you need to go somewhere. You need to go somewhere else.
So before we close, can you just plug your your YouTube or anything else that you got going on?
Yeah, again, I'm A Johnny. I'm more known as the Exposer because I expose fake basketball fans who can't appreciate great basketball players like LeBron James and Bam Adebayo and all the great players that we watch play. Our channel is the GOAT James Kingdom channel. We go live every Sunday, noon Eastern time, to talk about basketball and the GOAT conversation. I go live every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, to talk about the Heat in the Heat Hour. So you can join me on a Monday night, all the Heat fans, and we can have a good conversation about the Heat. Again, we're an objective fan base, and we look at the game as it is, and we appreciate the game for the greatness that it is. We don't look for flaws. We don't look to hate. We look to just appreciate the game of basketball because we're basketball fans, and I'm a big-time Heat fan, so I'm looking forward to this Heat offseason, and definitely catch me on GOAT James Kingdom right here on YouTube.
Guys, make sure that you guys go to his channel, hit the subscribe button, share his videos, comment. Make sure that you let him know that you guys came from our channels. Make sure that you guys go to Amir's channel, Team to Beat Miami Heat. Make sure you guys go to Ernest, Miami Heat Talk. Make sure that you guys go to Trent's channel, the Miami Heat Network. And thank you for all the support.
thanks again.
Thanks again. Peace and blessings. Appreciate this.